Okay, I'm live.
Okay.
Hi,
You're live.
everybody. We're live. I'm waiting for Linnea to join me on this
I
live.
need to join. Can you send me an invite? Oh,
Invite
okay,
to
there you go. There you
join.
go. Okay, I'm live.
Are you on, Linnea, yet?
It says I sent it a request to join. Oh my god, it's delayed. Can't handle that. I'm muting my Zoom.
Oh, we have our first joined member. Hi, Linnea. How are you doing today?
I hear background noise.
Am I frozen on your end? How's it going?
You look great. Sure.
I spilled something on my shirt. Thank you, Rachel.
Oh, look, there's people here besides us. That is I feel so humbled.
I know, I'm so grateful. Oh, I accidentally closed my computer and I should not have. So how are you doing today?
Kat.
Hey, boo.
Oh, women's empowerment. I love this. Okay, look at all the ladies.
I love this. So we're gonna just say hey, boo. We're gonna ask you guys for some feedback today.
There's two cats on right now, by the way. Just want to say hey, Kat, and hey, Kat. Hey.
Hi, double cats.
Okay, we're very excited. Clearly, very.
Yes, we're so excited. Thank you all for coming and joining us today.
The goal was 3 people for me, and so we've already hit that. So I'm just like, we can go home now.
Well, no, we still have to do the show. We still have to do the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle.
Okay, Natalie's on.
So you want to wait one more minute? Uh-oh, it looks like we're having more people come.
Can we ask people a favor? I want to see if we can hear this music. And so I'm going to play something. Can you guys tell Lauren if you can hear it, because I'm not going to.
Oh, we get I see some hearts and love. Okay. Can you guys see us? Can you hear us? I think Linnea is stalled out. Are you there, Linnea?
So
you kind of froze for a little bit, at least on my end. I can see you now.
You know why? Because I tried to toggle to another section, and you cannot play music from another section on your iPad. Okay, what about this? Can you hear this music? Say yes or no in the chat.
I can.
Lauren can. Can anybody else hear this? Anybody?
I can.
Okay, cool. As long as you can, which hopefully means other people can.
Okay, we're getting some good thumbs up. Let's let the music play.
Okay. My thingy's like froze. Okay. I'm gonna play this original music by.
And our artist is on the live. What's up?
See? Is our artist here?
Yes, our artist is here. I saw their ad.
My thing cannot. So this is original music by Eric Molina and Sion by Aceros. So I'm just gonna play it a little bit, and then we'll get into this. It's 12:03. We're already behind schedule.
Oh, let me take off my glasses.
Don't you guys miss the club? Who else misses the club?
You know, I think that I kind of miss the club, except for the fact that I will be asleep in the back of the club at the time that the club gets cracking. I'll be like Snoresville over in the corner. So I only missed it a little bit, but
That's my husband.
This is my favorite part.
Okay, let's get down to business.
Hey, boo.
Hey, boo.
Hey, boo. Thank you for joining us on Hey, Boo with Lauren and Linnea.
So just to let everybody know, we have like this intro. And so I wanted to share with you that it's important to know that we're 2 licensed clinical social workers, and we became friends in grad school. And we're here talking about mental health, relationships, sex, my favorite thing to talk about, parenting, being a person of color, and our never ending goddamn motherfucking to-do list that you know.
The to-do list. the never-ending to-do list. However, all the topics discussed are for entertainment and informational purposes only. The content is not intended to be a substitute for professional advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your mental health professional or other qualified health provider with any questions, and never disregard any professional advice or delay in seeking treatment because it's something that you've heard on this platform. So thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Should we give a shout out to Bougie Butter before we get into the real quick?
Let's do it.
She's like, no, but okay.
Well, we do want to give a shout out to Bougie Butter, our sponsor.
We do. So we do have a sponsor, which we're very excited about. And this show is brought to you by Bougie Butter. If you haven't checked it out, it's a Black-owned, women-owned business that handcrafts natural skincare products to promote self-care for your skin and your soul. And it's based out of Los Angeles.
So you can check out their amazing skincare products at www.bougiebutter.com, or you can also follow them on Instagram and Facebook at Bougie Butter.
You can also use their code, because we have a code, HeyBoo10, to receive 10% off of your first purchase. So if you like body scrubs, HeyBoo10.
And it's definitely very luxurious. I used some before I got on the podcast today. Hey, go Bougie Butter. Okay.
Yeah, excitement. Okay.
I love it. Okay. So we are going to kind of get into this a little bit more. So let's start by introducing ourselves. So my name is Lauren Turner. I'm a licensed clinical social worker based out of Los Angeles, California, technically Inglewood, but I kind of roll the whole LA County energy. And so I've been working with transitional age youth and for over 5 years, and I started my private practice about 2 years ago, and I work with everybody. So mostly with community organizing and all kinds of other really dope groups. So I'm just happy to be a part of this mental health movement with people of color, and that's my specialty. So I'm happy. LA, I see you. What's up?
Can you keep giving shout outs? Because my little feed is frozen. So
that's okay. I have a few kids. I have 3 kids right now. And, you know, we've had a lovely, interesting experience during the pandemic. I know somebody noticed my hair. I cut it off recently. You know, we have a couple of other introductions and surprises as well to share with you about new things that have been reveled since the beginning of the pandemic. So, Delaney, it's your turn.
So I'm Hughes. I am representing the Bay Area. I live in Oakland, California, and I'm also a practicing therapist. I have a small private practice on the side as a side hustle, and I do school-based mental health during the day, and I've been doing that for about 10 years. I love wellness and mental health, hence us being here today. I also have children. I have two boys. They're crazy. And Lauren and I, like we mentioned in our intro, like we met in the beginning, like when we first started grad school, and we've been friends ever since. And that's sort of like, I think my tribe currently is like, if you are brown, I do have white friends. I'm half white. I'm biracial. Maybe we should say that too.
Yes. I'm not biracial, but
yeah, you never know. You got to ask. You don't know what people are.
Got to ask.
And, but just women who are just like doing their thing, side hustling. I feel like that's just kind of like who I've surrounded myself with at this point, and that's me.
Yes. So, thank you for sharing, Linnea. I feel like it's I'm seeing all kinds of people joining us right now. We have 10 people on. We had 10 people on at one point, and I'm just so grateful for it. So now so how we came up with the idea of having Hey Boo in the first place is that, like Linnea was saying, we have all these things that are happening in our lives, and we're mental health professionals. So the pandemic has hit. Even before the pandemic, we were thinking about doing this, but we have so many different things that we have on our minds and our hearts, and we know that mental health is huge and that it's changing how people are really like engaging with one another, and even how people of color, Black people, brown people, other people of color are really like stepping in to like mental health, and we really wanted to be a conduit of like normalizing mental health treatment, decreasing the stigma, sharing out some love, and just us being able to connect and just really give our perspective on everything that's been happening. So
yeah, and I would add, like, I think it was one day that we were just like, we're a mom, we're a wife, we work, we have a side hustle, we still have career goals, we breastfeed, we do it all, and we're just like, oh my god, this shit's crazy, but we should talk about it, because like we know so many other women that are like doing this, living this life, and it's not easy, and not everyone is doing it this way, but we seem to have surrounded ourselves with like folks, like-minded folks who are trying to just live their lives this way. And so we wanted to just like have a platform to talk about it. And we have a group chat with a friend named Gwen, who is the creator of Bougie Butter. And I honestly think if you were to like search up how many times we say hey boo like to each other like in the past 5 years, if I had a dollar
in the past 10 years since we've met each other, hey boo is just the way that we introduce ourselves, is how we say hello to one another, is how we say hello to others. It's just been our very inclusive, loving way of sharing the love and spreading it as we can with the little bit of time that we have.
Totes.
So hey boo, how you doing?
Hey boo.
Anything you want to share with our brand new 11 whole followers that I feel is such great news, and how we kind of came up with the discussion of COVID-19 being AKA the ultimate birth control method? Because I think that that is going to be incredibly important, because I think that, you know, birth control helps, because see, I've decided that I'm not having any more babies, but
Okay.
Can we get a preview?
For this, I'll share some information, but I do want to say this. This is totally like our pilot, and everyone that's on right now, we want feedback at the end, because we're trying to fit as much juicy stuff. Typically, this is probably the least juicy episode, probably, right?
Thank you about my hair.
We just want to talk about sex all the time, or at least I do, and so this really, COVID is at the forefront, and like we are going to bring mental health into like as a lens into like whatever topic we're on. But the reason we decided the name COVID-19, aka the original, what did I say? AKA the ultimate
birth control method.
Ultimate. Two reasons. One is, well, three reasons. Three. One is I love a good title. Like, don't you just love a good title? Like, I do. I love a good title.
Gotta bring them in. Okay. Thank you.
Two is, well, we're going to get into Lauren's sex life and how COVID affected that in a little bit. But basically how COVID affected me in my sex life is, you probably can't see, but, oh, man. Okay. So.
Oh, can we see it? Can you give us a glimpse? I think I need to see.
I showed it.
They can't. I see. In case you didn't know what that is, that belly has not one,
but two. So I'm pregnant with twins. And to be quite honest, and I don't know if Eric Molina's not here, but I had a lot of sex in September and August and even July and this summer. And I feel like
he just said, you said, I'm not wearing any clothes. I saw that hot body, those hot pictures. I know that it was like, I can't keep my hands off of all of that. I need it. Yes.
And I feel like it was freakier sex. Okay, sorry, my pictures on. But like, also, have you ever had sex with someone and they're like, you gonna be pregnant after that? Have you ever had
Yes,
that?
or you just smell, you can tell you're gonna be pregnant afterward, because you're like, you just knew it. You're like, oh, that was too good not to make 6 babies. I don't know how only one came out, but it's all good. So we know that we have a lot of parents that are on this chat, and one of them that just gave you a big yay is also a mom of twins.
Oh, yay! I need advice. So
yes, all the advice. So we together, originally we only had enough kids combined to have a small basketball team. Now we're getting closer combined to potentially having a football team. That's 11. That's a lot of babies.
I'm not sure.
Teresa's telling you that she has 6 babies, six of them.
Oh,
Ooh, conceived out of passion. Now we know that this is a very heteronormative perspective to bring to the table, and that we are, we both at least act as hetero in real life. And so we, regardless of wherever we are on our spectrum, that's where we are. And so I think that there's a lot of it that comes with us being able to know that this is also a privilege to be able to have a baby out of passion instead of like having to be the incredibly intentional people to really like go through, all the other processes that people do experience to be able to get pregnant. So we're grateful for these babies, for these opportunities, for the very easy fertility kind of. It's only good if you don't have to like worry about potentially getting any career goals mixed up in the middle of it. But
yeah, I just started a job and I have like pregnancy guilt because I had to tell the whole staff well, I didn't have to, but obviously at some point you want to let them know. And then I was just like, I'm sorry, everyone. I know I just started, but like, I'll be back. I'm not going anywhere. But then I was just like, why do someone who's like super pumped and just like accepting of this pregnancy, which was not always the case, like I'm apologizing about going out on like maternity leave, which is like totally fucked up, but I don't know if anyone else has ever felt guilty like taking the time off, even though you also felt really empowered to do it, but like at the same time like feeling like people are going to judge you because like, how many pregnancies are you going to have, how much time you're going to take. And so that definitely,
and even the judgment sometimes that comes along with it with your coworkers, they're like, oh, well, we're going to be picking up the slack. It's like, yeah, I pick up your slack too, right? Like, but I think that there's something about just kind of knowing that this is the time in your life to do that, right? And what are you can't wait until you're 75 to decide that you want to have your first baby. I mean, some people can, but I wouldn't recommend it. And I think that would make you even more sleepy than being a regular parent, right? Like, could you imagine like how I don't even know what it would be like to be 75, but I can imagine that being a first-time parent at that age would be not on my list of things to do. So I think it's great that you're doing it. And you know what, honestly, the last time I went on a maternity leave, I think that it was just more feeling like I didn't know if they were ever going to let me like promote at my job because I just kept getting pregnant. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. It's a whole thing. And I think what you even hit on of just like the privilege of being able to have a baby out of a passionate moment. Like, I think that that should be another topic. I think we need to talk about that because I think I have multiple friends who are either have struggled or had miscarriages, and like you don't find out until like this moment of vulnerability because it's not something that everyone feels comfortable sharing, and also just the years and people who are going through infertility is like this private thing that people keep to themselves. We only have 20 minutes, so I do think that we should
do a whole separate, that was on my list, on the short list, right? Because I think that there's a lot to kind of even just acknowledging that, right? That there's a lot that comes along with being able to even have the loss of pregnancy, but then even knowing that there are so many people who've gotten pregnant even during COVID, and like the social supports that if you have had a loss of your pregnancy during your COVID, during this experience where we've been, genuinely like isolated, even in like the social isolation from it, that really just kind of, doesn't really give us the opportunity to be able to have these discussions and have the support system that we would have if we were meeting in person kind of regularly. So that's also one of the reasons why we did decide to do this podcast too, is because we really feel like there has even been for us like a little bit of a disconnect. Like I feel like we've been able to try to keep our connection going during this time, but it's so hard to stay in touch, especially when you're in your house 24/7, you have kids, work, and you're doing all of it from the function of your house. Like right now, like I'm in a space that I had to basically create in my house so that my kids can't like break in and disturb me. But it's great because it's created so many different opportunities for us to be able to get creative.
Yeah, I agree. And like to your point of like being stuck in the house is like what I feel like I hear so much is like divorce rates are going up, substance abuse rates are going up, and I'm like, I literally know people where this is happening. And it's not everybody getting freaky and getting pregnant. It's like the opposite end of the spectrum too. Of like, and also, we have like 2 minutes, so I want to like ask you, Lauren, how's COVID affected your life? Like,
Well, my life, it affected us. My whole family and I got it at the end of last year. Because my husband's an essential worker, and it's just one of those things that it's really affected us. Like, being sick really took us back a lot, from being able to kind of have some of the things and resources that we needed, like regular childcare and other things. But I feel like we also have been preparing for being sick the whole pandemic, right? That we have been learning that I have been mastering the art of ordering groceries online, how to be able to come up with activities for the kids. Sharice is actually on here today, and she hosted a parenting class for us in the summer, and I attended it. And honestly, it helped to save everything for me, because I felt like I was so tired as a parent and burned out that it really gave me the opportunity to understand that rest is 100% of what I needed to be able to recharge and be able to come back and be the parent that I needed to be. So I felt recharged even when we did get COVID. I felt like I could take care of my kids. And that's something that, is also a gift that most people may or may not get. And so I just want to, just kind of express that gratitude for that, because I think that that's one of the things that even acknowledging that you need support is something I think that's been really helpful for me during the pandemic, and just figuring out how it's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, things are, one is like, one thing I really appreciate is like the mindset piece, because again, like I keep having these conversations because I am privileged in a lot of ways. I have a job, I pay my bills. I'm not needing the moratorium on eviction, and like that's a beautiful thing. But at the same time, it's been hella stressful, with your kids being at home, and like I'm not a Pinterest arts and crafts mom, and so like those things are challenging.
I mean, we're working moms, and I think that there is a difference. I think that there are moms that stay at home and they have like that super gift to be able to do it. But we're cut from very similar cloth. Where like I would rather be making money than cutting up some papers. But that's okay. I think it's necessary.
It's good. Everyone has their own strengths. So I really appreciated seeing other like words of encouragement and positivity during this time. And I think that for me personally, to maintain my own mental health during all this still trying to maintain the career goals, still having kids, still raising kids, still working. But underneath the constraints of the pandemic, the thing that has helped me the most is like being inspired and empowered by like other people who are just keeping it positive. And that's, for me, that's been like, I would say tip is like seek out that sort of like energy from people, because that's gone a long way for me. And I don't even know how I got there. But before we leave, I do want to say you sent me a text when you got COVID, and like it was funny because instead of being like, tell me how your throat symptoms were, you were like, I don't think I'm gonna have sex for like a long ass time.
No, I did. I said, so my sex life has just ended. I'm never ever touching my husband again or anybody. I'm gonna puke, and this is the worst feeling of my life. And I'm like, the kids were so clingy, right? Like, when are we gonna get any private time? No. And then he was sick, and I was like, I hope he doesn't, I hope he makes it to the end. I feel like it's just another kind of perspective of where we are today. And I think that it's just really great about like even being able to be candid about what's going to happen, right? So I feel like another thing about COVID existing is that like how it's affected our sex life is like, when and where are you going to ever have sex? If you can't get away from the kids, you can't get a date night, you can't get away from the kids. I mean, like when they come with you, it's like, huh?
Like, you're not bringing random babysitters into your house, or even sometimes the caregivers who once did it, like, are older. So it's just like, yeah, totally.
Who's going to watch your kids? I mean, every now and then, I feel like we've had a few friends that have really stepped in and kind of like been like, okay, we can tell you guys clearly need a break. You clearly need a date night. Like, let me see if we can take them for a few hours so that you don't, die. But I think that it's one of the things that's like asking for support has been really like game changing for all of us. So, but now we're kind of coming close to the end, like one of our sessions, right? Even though we weren't going to really do this super clinically, we have clinical stuff that we can talk about another day, but we figured we would just really kind of do a light intro today. Unless anybody has any questions for us.
And I would say DM us ideas, or text us, if you're finding any of our numbers. What do you want to hear us talk about? Because
What's on your mind?
we can get real clinical and we'll get real serious about it. So today was like a silly intro. So we want to be flexible, and we will do this once a month on Saturdays.
Oh, here's a question. How many date nights have you been on during the pandemic? I would say maybe 3 out of the house. 3 out of the house in 10 months, and maybe a total of like 4 in the house, where we're like in the house being very creative about what we're going to do for our date night. Whether it's, so the last date night we had, we ordered in from a local restaurant that has zero, you got to at least get one in, Rachel. We ordered in from a local restaurant that also had craft cocktails that they sent with our food.
Okay. I like that.
And I was like, okay, look at us with our cocktails that we didn't make. It felt like we were at the bar because we pulled the nice glasses out after bedtime and everything.
That sounds real. I like that. I like using real glasses and like getting fancy, at home. That's a good one.
I know, I love it. I mean, I feel like plastic cups are definitely the go-to around here so that nobody breaks it.
I know. All the, I had a date night last night that was involved my husband, I don't know if he's still on, made chicken parm, and he followed the Gordon Ramsay recipe. And so we sat with no kids because the kids slept over at grandma's, and we had chicken parm, and it was like, oh my God, like I'm just having chicken parm with you, and
eating a whole meal. Was it hot when you ate it?
It was hot, like
what?
Yeah, no one was on my lap, and then we like watched,
or in your hair,
or in my hair, yeah. So that was like a win. But we are wrapping up, and one thing we mentioned is we have these like to-do lists, and so maybe we can share like what's on your to-do list, you guys, anyone who's listening. And Lauren, what's on your to-do list for today or this week? What do you got going on?
Always the laundry never ever ends in my house, ever. Laundry, all the laundry. I've been doing laundry. I do laundry every day, so okay, I'm hearing some other date nights. We have 2 date nights at home watching E40 versus Too Short. Hey, the versus battles are the date nights. I love it. Do you guys dance during your date nights? Thank you, Marquita. So laundry's always on my to-do list. I wish I didn't ever have to do it, but I have to do it all the time. Let's see, what's the top thing on your list today?
Well, I actually pulled out my list on my notes section, and I checked one thing off as we were talking. I was like, ooh, that felt good. But one was make a large payment towards my student loan, but recently I found out that they're actually deferred until, well, if you're taking advantage of that, student loans are deferred until like October 2021 or something like that. So I will say I have to call Home Depot. That's on my list, so I'm going to do that later today.
Another thing that's on my list of things to do, since we're talking about Home Depot, is hiring a new gardener for my yard. And
we easily stray. I swear, we're licensed professionals who we are therapists, but we do it all.
I can't cut my own grass.
Because you're busy doing sessions with clients. I understand.
And I don't have a lawnmower either, so. But thank you all so much for joining us today.
Should I play?
And I have to help with a 2nd grade school project. 2 of them are due on Wednesday.
Okay, y'all. As we have episodes in the future, we're hoping that you can share what's on your to-do list too, and know that you're not alone in this like mom's got it all down, got to do everything. We know we're
dads and just folks. We just want everybody to come. I mean, you don't have to be a parent to listen to our podcast. You can just like sex, because that's how we got pregnant so many times. So we just want you to like join in and like talk to us, ask us questions, engage with us. We are looking forward to this. We're so excited.
So we'll probably post on Instagram the next topic for next month. So stay tuned. Thanks for following. I'm going to play some outro music, and feel free to,
We see some kitchen mopping is about to go on. I did that this morning.
Okay. All right. Thank y'all.
Thank you. I can't wait to hear about your date nights and your to-do lists.
We used to
Thank
dance
you for joining us. Check out Bougie Butter.
Sorry, you guys. I'm just excited. Okay.
Thank you all for joining us so much. We are just feeling the love today. Thank you all for coming and participating. We are going to be posting this on IGTV after so that you can share with your friends, family, anybody you think might enjoy it. And definitely slide into our DMs and let us know what's on your to-do list. Let us know what's going on.
Hey, I think, Lauren, you got to record it, so can you figure that out?
We'll figure it out later. All right. I'm going to figure out how to sign out of this now. Okay, we're leaving. Bye, everybody. Oh, thank you for all the love. Bye, everybody.